So we have SciSense with us. We have Paul March, who is the IT manager for SciSense. We also have David Busam, who is the IT specialist for SciSense. So been around since the year 2000. They do a lot of work in environmental and sustainability and harnessing, using our resources sustainably. So David and Paul, I'll go to you first, Paul. I have a few questions which I would like to ask. Right, so the first question, I guess one of the most important questions is our service. How seamlessly has our service integrated with your existing operations? I mean, you guys have your own capability in-house. How did we integrate with that as far as the services is so far?
Yeah, maybe it gives them mixing up a little the questions, but okay, I try to give an image about it. When you're looking at Darktrace, of course, Darktrace is a great product. Huh? I mean, it gives you visibility. Exactly what GK said. It's fantastic. But as a small organization as we are, I mean, small. We're about 150 people in about 6 locations anyway. We do not have the people so to run actually Darktrace and have the ability to monitor like 24 hours a day. So that's what we're reaching out to Groove in that part. When we're starting with Groove, the integration for us, when you're looking at our operation, it's fantastic. Yeah, you are our third pairs of eyes that looking over our shoulders and gives the ability to us to understand actually Darktrace better. So my integration, what I'm seeing, like we have the luck that we have GK like every week on the phone, looking to our reports, see really what the importance is, get a good image about what Darktrace is doing, but also what we actually are doing with our users and our equipment, and see what the risks are or even not. And in that path, also important for us is that we are learning also from that sessions. So not only that gives us a better view on what Darktrace is doing and what you guys are doing. So for me, the integration was great, and it's running within our small team we have. It's like you're like an extending of our team. That's how it feels for us.
Okay, great, thanks, Paul. That's excellent. I think that's one of the aims of the service, like JK said earlier, is to do exactly that, to become part of the team, because it's critical. We can't do this without the customer, and the customer can't do this without Darktrace and our services. So I think it's a great partnership, and that's what we aim to achieve with this. I think also the second question was going to be around your over-impression, but I think you've given insights into what your over-impression is of the service, which is great to hear. It's always encouraging to hear some positive feedback from our customers. So David, I just wanted to pose a question to you as well. And in terms of, because you're on the ground, you're the person that we would have that daily interaction with, that daily back and forth between our analysts and you. How effective have we become in that process? I mean, before it was you had your certain way of doing things. How would you say the service and the system has contributed to the effectiveness of the overall practice of cybersecurity at SciSense?
Yeah, it's a good point to see that without Groove, we had in Darktrace a lot of events. So there have been a couple of notifications, a lot of trigger emails, and escalation emails we've got, and we didn't know exactly what this means. Yeah, we've heard for first time something about beaconing and other events, and we've been not aware how to react in the situation. And yeah, Groove helped us also to get an understanding for what is it, how should it be handled. Yeah, sometimes it's just to clear the cookies, sometimes it's to investigate a bit deeper, and so we've got a good hand-holding partner with Groove, who's helping us to keep also the overview over Darktrace, because without Groove, we would not have yet the priority to look at it so often. Yeah? So, for For example, in Darktrace are a lot of events, and usually I should look once a day on it. But I know that in background we have Groove, and if there's something very urgent, I know they will call me. And also we're getting the daily summaries about interesting or relevant events, and this is helping us a lot to keep also the overview of our infrastructure and our events, what's happening in our network.
Oh, cool, thanks, David. So another question related to that, the daily work associated with the cybersecurity. Have any of our tickets or reports initiated change in your environment? So has there been like a change control process, and you've decided to make a certain change within your firewall, whatever it may be? Have we initiated change in your environment as far as that cybersecurity is concerned?
Yeah, we've get some some things to improve in our environment. For example, we had the issue with our Wi-Fi access points, that every device is seen as the access point and not as the device itself. So we have from one specific IP address of the access point a lot of events. And so we've changed we are in the change currently to get there better visibility to see every device connected to this access point as a single device. So here we did a lot of improvement also for traceability then and in the logs then for us. But there have been also other small things where we saw some strange websites that been served, and we could block them in our proxy server, or enabling them, for example. So we had it in both ways. Sometimes Darktrace was blocking something too much, and then we've unblocked it. And so it's a good mix, and with Groove, we have to partner with the big understanding of it, and it's faster than Darktrace. So in Darktrace you have always to make a ticket, and you have to formula a way to get your answers some days later. And with Groove, I know, for example, I can write JK and I have directly the answer. It will. It's you feel that it's integrated into the organization. So that's a good point there.
Well, thank you very much, David. So the last question I wanted to pose to both of you is, and this is a subjective response, I guess, is would you be able to share the reasons that you would recommend Darktrace firstly, because obviously it's not possible without Darktrace, and our service? What would the reasons be for you recommending our service and Darktrace? We'll start with you, David.
Yeah, okay.
Or go, Paul, Paul.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay, for me, because I started the adventure with Darktrace. When you're looking at the management point of view, what you're also saying, guys, the first is resources. I have only, for example, in our case, one David, and that's of course it's a great guy, but it's at only two hands, and he's working mostly only 14 hours a day instead of I'm joking, 8 hours a day instead of 24. So that's one thing. You never have enough resources, but also, let's be honest, if the resources want to change his job, for example, then tomorrow I'm not really in having a problem with that. Of course I have a problem with that when David is going to leave, but guys, I know that you are going to help us, because we are not lost in that case. So if something is happening, we're going to talk about it. You're gonna reflect on it. I see that something is happening, and again, you are my third pair of eyes in that. The second point is knowledge. We have IT as a global, so we have more knowledge parts on every case, but we are not security specialists. So you have the knowledge, and that's an important point for me. Again, already said 24 hours a day. That's an important one for me also, because yes, what you're saying, security is important. And it's not only on workable hours for us, it's 24 hours a day. This guy is not going to breach me at 12 o'clock in the night because I'm sleeping. That's not the case. That's also an important thing. And again, what I said, I'm glad with the third pillars of ICE. They're looking over our shoulders, and it's part of our team.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. Really appreciate that. Sterling compliment to our service. David, anything to add to that?
How Paul said, it's a good feeling to know that there is a third pair of eyes looking over our environment. So yeah, I can go relax into holidays or end of day, and I know if there is something I'm gonna be called. And it's also happened sometimes that I'm getting a call from a Great Britain number, and then I know, okay, it's a groove, and then I have directly the expert on it, and I can talk with him about the event, and it doesn't matter where I am, he can explain it directly on a technical base to me, and yeah, it's good, and we can together solve it or approve it. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, David. So we are out of time. I see a minute over, so I'm going to hand over to Bianca just to close off the session. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, David, for joining the session today. Bianca, you want to close off the session?
Microphone, that helps.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Sorry, I'm talking away. I was blocking you from all the noise in the background here, but thank goodness everyone kept quiet for a sec here. But thank you very much to our guests, to Paul and to David for attending, and thanks Chris and JK for speaking. Thank you very much for our attendees and making the time. And we will, as we mentioned, this call is recorded, or I don't know if we mentioned in the beginning, but this call is recorded. And if you want a copy, we'll be able to send it through and send you more information. Thanks, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Well, afternoon, depending on where you are. But yes, have a good rest of your day.